out a ton of content for your social media. Do you have a strategy in place for that, or do you just kind of put it out as you make it?
I've been through all sorts of processes with that, to be honest, in terms of strategies where it was like, yeah, even in terms of like keeping things looking tidy, like I post this on this day, that on that day, that
Yeah.
on that day. But life just catches up on you, man. So it's really for me, it's about when I have something, it's out,
Yeah.
and I'm constantly working, so I constantly have something, and then it's out, it's out, it's out. And the structure has slowly dissipated, and it's just when I have something, release that, hope that it gets a good reception. I've even stopped worrying about, you know, how people might be like, let me release this at 8 o'clock because that's when people are on their phones, and
Yeah.
maybe if it's a Monday it's better than a Saturday because people are out on Saturdays. And
Hmm.
I used to think about all that stuff, but now, to be honest, when it's out, and
Yeah.
it will find the right people, because I really just think that people who want the content will get the content, kind of in the way that you were saying, when you put out good
Yeah.
energy you get good energy back, just operating on that basis.
Mm.
And I use hashtags and things like that. They don't help sometimes they really do. You know, when you
Yeah.
got a great photo, sometimes it goes fire, great video goes fire, and mediocre videos won't, and I think that's the rule, really.
So- And you share pretty much everything. So I'm pretty sure when I've looked all your YouTube videos, you share all that content on there. Anything you're doing with artists, you share. And I mean, you have tons of stories. Like your stories are super active as well.
Yeah, well, the Instagram stories is like such an easy way to engage with your audience and tell
Yeah.
them what you're about. And I don't even make half of them. It's like my feed is stuff I'm interested in. I
Yeah.
love philosophy, I love spirituality, and I sort of incorporate that into the brand, where it's like, I love this post, let me post it. And sometimes I'll post something, obviously philosophy and religion and things like that. It's controversial topics. Sometimes I'll put up stuff like that and I'll lose 10 followers, and I'll be like, grand. I don't
Yeah.
care. It's not part. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I'll put up constant videos on this is how you make boom bap beats, this is how you make trap beats, this is how you, and I'll lose 10 followers because they weren't interested. They might have been interested in music, but they weren't interested in beats.
Yeah.
So that stuff is going to happen, and you might start losing followers, but it's about, and then you might start gaining a lot of followers, but it's just about post what you have whenever you have it, get it out there. That's constant awareness. Boom, boom, boom. I'm here. I'm doing this. And also, don't be disgruntled as well, because what I found out is there are some guys who are incredibly quiet on social media, don't do
Mhm.
YouTube channels, don't do anything, but my God, they're working behind the scenes. So my
100%.
advice on it is just keep working, just keep doing your thing constantly. If you love it, why aren't you doing it like now?
Mhm.
Why
Yeah.
aren't you doing it right now if you love it?
And people always think they're going to get like that initial boost. Like they think as soon as they start putting out some content, their numbers are going to go up. When, as you said, quite, most likely your numbers are going to go way down as soon as you start putting out like shit loads of content. Some people just don't want to see it. I mean, when I started putting out like all the content, like the stuff that with what I do, I need to put out. But it's kind of like when you start it, everyone kind of goes, "That's a bit weird." Like, why is he putting that out? But then it makes sense 6 months down the line. And it's the same thing when I started putting out like Motivation Monday posts. And every time I put out a Motivation Monday post, swear to God, for like 2 months, it'd be like -6 followers for every Monday motivation post. People were just unfollowing for the sake of it. Put up like a podcast thing, I'd maybe get 3, but I'd lose like 5. Because people who have like I've maybe known since I was a kid who see it and they're like, that's just fuck, I can't be fucking bothered looking at this all the time, and just unfollow. But then, as you say, you will get a spike. It's going to hit where you hit a market or a little niche that kind of, or a community that engages, and then it always comes swings and roundabouts. Really, give the good energy out, keep putting out that content, let the negativity flow past, let the people who don't want to see it unfollow. It doesn't affect you in any way, and then just wait until you hit that little community that's actually going to not only view but actually appreciate the content you're putting out and the amount of time and effort that you're going to put into what you're putting out for them. Because I mean, what I do, yeah, I have to do all this, but I mean, you do YouTube tutorials. That can't be easy for you. You're making beats, you're making trap beats, and you're not only making them, you're actually teaching people how to do it, and you're doing tutorials and giving tips for how to, people can get their songs out there in 2020. That was one of your most recent ones, 5 top tips. And that takes a lot of time for you. You have to not only know how to do it, you also have to set up, almost script what you're going to do on screen for that. And I think it really takes to find a community that appreciates what you're going to be putting out for them, as opposed to people who maybe just watch it because they're your friend and they watch 30 seconds of a video to give you a view. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you'll probably like this one from a marketing perspective. Is it's as deep as I've ever delved into proper marketing. Is when I started doing the YouTube videos, I was looking for exactly that community. And so what I started learning about, and this again goes back to like you are what you're not. I had to go look at things that I never thought I'd be looking at. I was looking at Google Ads,
Yeah.
and I was looking at YouTube videos of how you actually run a Google ad and all the little things, the little boxes you have to tick that make it run better and stuff. And I hit on a perfect demographic where suddenly the chart just went boom, and I barely had to pump money in. And it was just like, these guys like the type of video I'm making.
So you're running paid ads for your YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's super interesting. So I don't want to ask you a question that might make you uncomfortable to answer, but how are you putting a lot of money into it? Sort of, what's that? Because I didn't actually expect you to be putting money into that. So what does that look like for you?
Yeah, well, I treat it like a business, which is why I put money into it. Because if I build up, we're nearly at 1,000 now on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
And if I build it up to 10, 20K, I can make money. I've already actually started making money. The 5 tips for releasing music was sponsored by DistroKid. So it was a paid video. And that was
Nice.
only when I had 500 followers. So treat your stuff like a business, and you will start to see money come in like it's a business.
That's awesome.
Um, but no, I haven't been pumping money in the way that, and I had to Google all this. I'm no expert at this. I make tunes and that's it. But I did loads of testing where I'd put like 50 quid into this, and maybe, well, it was probably 50 quid across 5 ads, put 10 quid into here and there. But it was all about hitting that demographic. And then when I saw the chart go like that, it's like, okay, this is the demographic. Let me put 50 quid into just this one. And yeah, fucking took off. Then I was getting hundreds of followers every week and stuff like that.
That's awesome. And as you say, it is, you're invested now, but the aim is that it comes back to you in the long run because you hit, 100K, you hit 10K, you start monetizing, and then you start getting practice, and then you start getting the larger ad reach, you start getting actual sponsored videos, not just ad payments. So I mean, as you say, it is a business, and you're not only investing yourself in education, but you're investing in your business financially as well to get your reach out there and your brand awareness out there.
And I don't even mean this to say anything about myself or what I do, as in to say I'm not bragging. But I'm saying this because this is, people always think, why are you paying for ads? Why? I've had so many people say it to me. But to be completely honest, I have made back the money, the entire amount of money that I've spent on ads since I've started this a few months ago. It's all made back, so I've broken even. You won't lose money if you do it right.
That right there that he's just said, that is the key for any advertising you ever do. It'll only fail if you do it wrong. And I mean, when you're talking especially social channels, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, it's actually easier to do bad, or sorry, it's easier to do it well than it is to do it wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's all optimized to make it easy for you to be successful. I mean, if you're messing up Facebook ads, just go to learn more. Do you know what I mean? You're just not doing it right. They should be successful, and especially as you say, if you're looking at the right markets and you've done the smart thing, you Googled it, you went onto YouTube, you found out how to do it, you tested your markets, and then you kind of essentially scaled that market by then planting the money in where you find the winning advert, which is exactly, that's marketing 101. Test your ads, find out what works, and then scale the winning ad. And obviously you've done it perfectly and to perfect success for yourself.
Yeah, yeah, and I was delighted with it. And like you said, it was marketing 101. So for anyone else, other producers out there that want to get it out there, literally just YouTube it. Some guy will tell you on YouTube, watch this podcast. We'll tell you.
Exactly. And definitely go check out, because you've got a ton of even more valuable stuff than that on your YouTube, especially for, music producers. As we said, you have all these tutorials on beat making and stuff. And what is the sort of idea there? Is it for beginners or is it intermediate? What sort of is the market you're looking at there?
Yeah, I feel, again, back to humility. I feel like I'm at a level now where I can teach beginners and maybe very just about intermediate with a great deal of articulation and stuff. And anything after that, it's sort of seeming like these guys are quite advanced than my peers. so I'm not going to be teaching my peers. So it is videos for quite beginner, home taught, self taught music producers in the hip hop area.